Hey everybody, this is Stan Wanglund, and welcome to episode 13 of Just Thinking 2022. How the heck is everybody doing? It's been an interesting few days, boy. Let me tell you, between COVID winding down and everybody saying, "Oh, this is over," and whatever you believe on that kind of stuff. All the stuff going on up in Canada, and then of course all this this stuff going on with the Ukraine and this in the Russian leader, excuse me, Vladimir Putin. With what he's doing, and then responses to that, and just watching. The people in our government, the people on our news, the people who are writing editorials about things, how we handle this as a nation, how we view things. And I have to tell you, which is part of just thinking, I was saying something. Somebody was asking me a question the other day, and they said, "What do you think, Stan? What would you do if you were the president or something like that? How would you fix the American public or our culture or whatever? Because I think it's broken. No, I'm not into toxic positivity and making believe that things are okay when they're not. And then I'm not into like gloom and doom either. I mean, it is what it is, and we have to go from there. In anything in life, that's my opinion. You can't trigger yourself or go in a safe space away from reality. But what I see happening right now is there's really it's a compromising of values and a change in values, which is the point when somebody asked me, what would you do? Ordinarily, years ago, I would say, well, people need more training, they need more education, they need to, take more personal responsibility for things, and a whole bunch of steps that I've acquired in a lifetime of life experiences and education and, working with thousands of people, whether it be as a psychology professor or as an administrator or as a psychologist or whatever, owning my own business, working with people, those kinds of things. These are the things that you learn, that we all have to have, different values. And the values have to hopefully be good ones that are a win-win for people, that are that do something positive for you, and in terms of being an individual, positive for your culture, positive for your family, positive for your community, positive for other people. But we've got some really twisted kinds of ideas now that we've had before. I've seen these things before, but they're really compromised. And it's like I did a show in my other series called How Low Can We Go? We just keep going lower in many ways. Not everybody, but a vast number of people. I think one of the things is compromising values with China. I know we're talking about the Ukraine, but it's the way we view things seems to be skewed in a really bizarre manner. Bill Maher on Real Time, and that's a hard show for me to watch sometimes. I mean, sometimes he's very, very funny and spot on, and sometimes he's just so friggin' mean spirited and self centered. It's it's not what it's meant to be, like just politically incorrect. It's a platform for just being a miserable bastard sometimes and self-centered, but maybe the show is. But he did bring up a good thing about Americans compromising their values with China, with selling out. And man, he's spot on that stuff. And it goes all the way back. There's an article today that just came out, after his show, and it talks about the very popular wrestler John Cena, movie actor. He's in the Peacemaker now and everything. Some big strong guy. Everything. But here he is showing a clip of him apologizing in Mandarin because he mentioned that Taiwan was an independent country, and his sponsor said, you don't want to piss China off because they view that like the Ukraine. Even though Taiwan has been its own place, its own country for many many years. An independent thing, and you don't want to piss them off. And come on, man. I mean, look at the Olympics. Athletes were warned not to make any kind of open comments about things. By Nancy Pelosi. As a warning to them. I mean, we're supposed to live in a democracy, and we don't live in China. If we're going over there as a guest, you don't have to spit in anybody's face, but you're entitled to speak your mind. It's an international event that, as long as you're not breaking the law over there in some criminal way, you should be able to say what you want to say. But no, we don't want to do that because of the 1.6 billion people or whatever their population is. I think it's 1.6 billion people. And then you had the thing in 2020 or 2021 with LeBron James and all the other owners and so on and so forth, that over human rights comments by one of the owners or coaches or whatever it was, or several people. Hey man, no, don't do that. And LeBron wanted to let you know, hey man, you just don't understand the situation here. You're not woke, brother, to all this kind of stuff, and we don't want to do that, and the league doesn't want to do that. Why? Because they've got huge television deals or marketing deals with China and don't want to lose them. And brother LeBron don't want to lose his shoe empire and his clothing or whatever deals that he's got, and they were huge. So money is the mitigating factor here, and Americans are man, they're willing to, for the buck, man. Sports, the media, whomever, they'll go right on. China is an oppressive government, as people have even more discovered when they look at the Olympics. It's a shithole in many ways, which people have discovered. It's very there's many things there that are they're just overrated. They're propaganda, just like we have our things. To do that. This is not some idyllic place. Yeah, they have a lot of clout financially for a lot of different reasons right now. But does that mean that, we have to sit there to kowtow to those, particular individuals? Yeah, yeah. According to here, yeah, people do that because of the bucks. You've got, the Tucker Carlsons of the world and Fox Networks and other people sitting there and saying, oh, Vladimir Putin, you got to understand, Ukraine was part of the... Come on, man. Are you kidding? Putin is the former head of the KGB. This isn't some love bug out there. He knocks people off, man. He's got people that he arrests all over the place, the same as China. They're actually committing genocide with a whole segment of their population that they have locked up. Man, in the 21st century, Putin's a racketeer. He's a thug. Not saying that, you can't be thinking of your national security or whatever, but when our own people, and of course that's for this crazy, Fox News right-wing, or whatever kind of thing that goes on, to sit there that just takes on, the left-wingers and everything. And hey, the left-wing stuff that comes out there, the extreme, is as crazy as they are with some of the things that they come out with, to be sure. So I'm not trying to walk the fence there, but some of the stuff, not some of the stuff, tons of the things that we're doing now, what we identify with, the way that we act, it is like, man, how low can you go? It doesn't stop. In my opinion, it really doesn't stop. I was watching, I saw Joe Biden come on when he came out, and he talked about, he's been transparent. He comes out all the time. He tries to tell people briefly what's going on, what his impressions are and everything, to advise the American people. And people say, oh, he's acting weak. How is he acting weak? He's telling people that he's tried to do what George Bush Sr. did, which was very successful in Operation Desert Storm, to get the NATO alliance to, which is very, very successful and very, very important, to, at least in my opinion, to our national security, given the cast of characters that we have in the world. These are not, playful characters. These are dangerous people, and they do dangerous things. I don't think we have to go defend the Ukraine. I think it's in our best interest to try and provide them support and do different, things to, to help us out in our agenda for things. We're not invading the Soviet Union. I mean, Russia. It's not the Soviet Union anymore. We're not doing that. But if these countries want to become more involved in democracy and get involved in other things, we're not forcing them to do that. We certainly couldn't do that in the Middle East, and tried like hell to do that. They're not real democracies or anything else like that. So that doesn't work. But the stuff that we promote, like, oh, it's okay, the Russians, they're we have people here who actually admire this guy. Yeah, he does judo, he rides a horse bare chested. What the hell does that have to do with anything? I've seen the president come out. That's the correct position to take, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Yeah, if this guy is promoting his national interest the way he sees it, in an illegal way of invading other countries, no. Should we get involved in a ground war? No. No way. We don't owe the Ukraine that. Should we support their thing towards democracy? Of course. You want to support autocracy? You want to, tyrannical, completely tyrannical leadership with people being knocked off all the time? That's where we've stooped to? I'm not saying that we have to have hatred towards Russia or hatred, towards China, but when they're clearly diametrically opposed to our belief systems and values and everything else like that, if we add any more, shouldn't we support and encourage, a more proper, more enlightened value system? There are systems or values that, in my opinion, are better than others. And that's one. Is the president crazy because, he doesn't want to go to war, but he says, yeah, we'll really give you strict economic sanctions and hurt you in your pocketbook, which is the best way to hurt somebody without going to war with them. To exert pressure, like he's exerting pressure. So what is the matter with people? This country is developing a compromise, or it has developed a really serious compromise set of values where people now identify not only with alternate reality, they identify with authoritarianism. They identify with criminal behavior if it satisfies their particular point of view. No. There's things that I don't agree with very much on the left and on the right. No, I don't think I want to engage in criminal behavior or, hang somebody or make them lose their job or do horrible things to them or imprison them or do crazy things. I don't think that a president, whether it be Joe Biden or Donald Trump, should do the things that President Trump did, for example, and encouraging people to be violent. Nobody stole any election or any crazy. If you think that, that's fine. That's no different than when I was a kid growing up in Brooklyn for the first 22, 23 years of my life in Flatbush Avenue. And seeing people who were, like wise guy associates, minor criminals and Shylocks and second story guys and all that kind of crap that you would see. Some people would glorify that stuff. Well, you can go in that neighborhood and the women, they walk nice. They walk at night. Get out of here, the women. That's a job for the police. That's a job for the neighbor. Get out of here. That's a big scam. It's one of the stupidest things I would ever hear. And I grew up in an Italian neighborhood, an Italian-Irish neighborhood, and there was Jewish people around. That's the way the neighborhoods were in the day. And you would see people defend, ridiculous kinds of things many times, like we're doing now. They never come out and bode well. And it goes from one end of the spectrum to the other. I hope I haven't rambled, but we really have got to, although I really don't have any confidence that we will. I guess today's show is an opinion piece. Maybe the only person who feels better is me just saying it. That I really don't think we're going to change that much until there's something in it for the population at large. And right now, everything is money. Everything is, let me get even with somebody. Let me bust somebody's balls. Let me slow this program down. Let me stop this person from having success. Let me just be outrageous. Those kind of things. A lot of stuff is gonna come home to roost. Not only in this country, in our culture, but in Mr. Putin's culture, in the Chinese culture, in other cultures where they've been playing this game for a long time. I don't know whether it'll be a combination of some catastrophic, a global event like the pandemic again, or a friggin' meteorite, or increased climate change, or some other kind of combination of factors. But people are either going to see the light or they're not. And they're going to have to, if they want to survive and have a productive environment, if they want to live together peacefully and intelligently, they're going to have to accept reality. They're going to have to not compromise their values, but agree upon some fundamental values for people that make common sense first and foremost. And that allow everybody an opportunity to play the game, to play it, basically fairly, and you don't get stepped on if you're a worker, or you don't get crucified if you're a successful owner of a business that makes a lot of money. That common sense prevails, and goodwill, that you treat other people like you want to be treated. But I guess that's too simple. It's not woke enough. It's not right wing enough. It's not crazy enough. It's not full of conspiracies or anything else like that. It's just some common sense behavior that some of us have, whether it's from old times or new. So that's what I'm thinking about today. So for all those people compromising their values with Red China, I think you're despicable. For all you people who are out there and you have a big fickle finger to the Ukraine and everybody else, tough shit, buddy. You got a gangster and a racketeer coming down your throat with Putin, and it's all right. It's like 1938 and all over with Hitler. And what a wonderful. The one thing I agree with President or former President Trump on, I won't call it fake news, but the newscasters on all sides of the spectrum, most of the case, not just misinformation with people, but man, just the hysteria, the lack of doing the job properly, followed by the people themselves. I mean, we should know better. Read a friggin' paper, read a book, listen to the radio, try and research something, get some other opinions, except from these goddamn characters they're idiots. Or they've got you so worked up 24/7, you're looking for ratings and going over the same crap. And I don't know how a person, whether it's Putin or, the leader of China or president, but I don't know how anybody functions. All you've got is 50 million armchair warriors who don't know shit about anything. They don't even know enough to put a mask on, in the middle of a friggin' pandemic, or take a friggin' shot if they need to take it. They come up with all kinds of crazy bullshit. They'll tell you that things are going hot and heavy when they're not, and then just as things are winding up and you got to be extra careful or try to be smart, people tell, this is all, you don't know which end is up on anything, except that everybody's got a clever answer, which most of the time is dead wrong. So that's it. How low can we go in our thinking and everything else? Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe as we bottom out, there's only one way, and that's up. Right, Bernie? There's my little puppy dog coming into the room. Come here, Bernie. He makes more sense than 90% of the people that I run across on a day-by-day basis, to be honest with you. And he's just a puppy. So maybe I'm just a grouchy old guy. But anyway, you guys have a nice day. And be safe, be healthy. Enjoy your freedom. Because, boy, I'll tell you, as the people around the world find out all over, freedom ain't free, baby. It sure ain't. And it doesn't have to be one with a gun all the time, but you gotta have your thinking cap on. You gotta have some goodness in your heart and your head. Otherwise, it doesn't work very well. Well, have a good one. Bye-bye now.